honey. You have really good timing.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to be good, okay?
Okay.
You're gonna do crafts in a minute. Okay, hi everybody. It's Marina from Say Something Crafty, and I wanted to touch on a subject that some people are offended by and other people are not offended by. I had posted a video recently, and it was my fairy journal for Anna, and there were some people that were offended by what I said, and I needed to clarify what I said because I was really tired and I didn't think I was being offensive. I craft at night because all my kids are up during the day and I'm usually spending time with them, or I'm taking care of the baby. So really quick, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself if you don't know, because I do know I have a lot of new subbies. A lot of new subbies. So I have 4 kids. I have 3 boys. I know, Loki. I have 3 boys, and I just had my first girl. 2 of my boys have autism, and my 3rd one, I'm not sure if he has autism or not, or if he's just copying his brothers. So it's a little hard to tell. So we've just been working with him and trying to see if we can figure that out. Honey, please don't play with those, okay? Don't play with those. Okay, come over here. Come over here. Come over here. Come here. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't pull that, okay? So I grew up in going back and forth between my mom and dad, and between both parents, it was just me and my brother moving back and forth a lot. Yeah, hold on. You can sit with mommy. And I didn't have much in the way of anything. Sorry, guys. My son's pulling on my mount. I didn't have much in the way of anything. And I also learned, because my dad was bipolar, so was my mom, and my mom had depression, I also learned that someone always has something to be mad about. Like, it doesn't matter what the subject is. And I don't like drama, but I'm not afraid of confrontation, especially if I believe in something or someone. Ow, stop it, Loki. No. So I've been into crafting and art my whole life, but I've only been in the craft community for 3 years. And so in those 3 years I've learned a lot from trial and error, because I've had multiple artists refuse me. Now, I'm not going to say names because that does upset people, and it isn't really necessary. So I've had multiple artists that I've asked to teach me, I've asked to make something so I could learn from it, or anything like that. I've had multiple artists refuse me, whether it be because they just don't feel like it, or they don't have the time, or they're working on something else, which I do understand to some degree, but also to just be turned down. It's frustrating, because when you want to learn and you have a desire to learn and you can't, it's very frustrating. So when I tell you I grew up switching back and forth between both parents, that means I was going to different schools. In my life, I've stopped counting at 30. I've been to over 30 different schools since I've grown up. And in that period, I've lost friends. Every time I went to a new school, I had to make new friends, and I had to figure out what they were learning again. And towards the end, it got very stressful, because I wanted to learn, but I couldn't, because my parents couldn't figure out what they were doing with me and my brother. So we just kind of ended up all over the place. And so I ended up having to get my GED and then go to college. So it's very hard, because I understand that feeling. I know what it feels like when you want to learn and you can't. And going through that probably affects the way I feel about things a lot. So, it isn't fair, in my opinion, that someone, when they want to learn, they can't. Whether it's because they don't have the money and they can't afford the tutorial, or they can't afford the workshop, or they get rejected, or whatever reason that they can't learn but they want to learn. To me, that isn't fair. Like I said, I grew up with less. Stop shaking that, please. And I started crafting from a shoebox, and I've met so many women in this community that love to give and love to teach and love to share, and to me that's wonderful. Like, you guys are amazing. With that being said, I'm not knocking anybody who decides to make a living out of their craft. Anyone who decides to make a living selling their crafts, that's fine. I don't think that's bad. And everyone knows that if you're an artist, period, as an artist, I've learned, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle to sell what you're creating. You're going to struggle for everything that you want. Like, And that's, to me, you're going to struggle to learn. And that's what I've struggled with the most, is to learn. Shh, shh. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not. It's not easy to do any of what we do. But what about the people that do want to learn? I think about everyone that wants to learn, and everyone who's been through what I've been through, or they can't afford, honey, calm down, don't yell, okay? Anyone that can't afford to do what we do. That doesn't mean I think people shouldn't get paid for what they do. That's not what I think. Teachers should be paid for their time. Artists should be paid for their art. But learning shouldn't have a price tag. Reality is that it does cost them. Stop, honey, please don't do that. This is why I don't craft in the normal hours of the day. I'm going to have to go get my daughter here in a moment. She's teething at 3 months. Can you believe it? But, stop. Oh, careful. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think things should be fair and reasonable. Doesn't mean it is, and it doesn't mean it will be, and it doesn't mean I hate other artists because it isn't fair. I don't hate any artist. I want to be clear about that. I don't hate anybody who's selling their crafts. I don't hate anybody who's selling their tutorials. Because I choose to do it doesn't mean that I think that they can't do it their way. They can do it their way. It is frustrating because I'm not always very good at expressing myself or what I meant. You don't have to like me or this subject, and you can have whatever feelings you want about it. That's what this is. You can feel how you want to feel. You can say what you want to say, but I can say what I want, and I can feel how I want. And if you feel that me having a different opinion than everybody else, or just stating that I don't feel the same way is a bad thing, then you're allowed to feel that way too. I don't think that makes me a bad person, and I don't think that makes you a bad person. And I'm not going to hate you for having your feelings about however you feel. I don't pretend to be someone I'm not, and I don't pretend to be someone I'm not, and I'm not going to. I'm going to do my best to give credit where credit is due, and I do that in my videos. If I'm inspired by somebody, I do my best to let them know they're my inspiration. I try to tag, stop it, artists in my videos. Please stop, Zion, you're going to have to get down. Do you want to get down?
No.
I did state that I wasn't going to get into it, but I kind of did, and I didn't put in my whole opinion, which kind of made it left open for interpretation, which is why I'm making this video. I don't want my couple of statements left open to interpretation. I should have made a video like this to begin with, so that way I could say what I meant the proper way and not left it open for interpretation, because I didn't want to do that. I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't really thinking, because like I say, I stay up all night, don't really sleep very much, and then I get up during the day and spend time with my kids. So I understand the struggle of trying to make a living out of your crafts. I understand the struggle of, it's not easy. I get it. I have 4 kids, and I still find time for this. This is what I do. So I don't get much sleep. So sometimes I don't think about stuff, or I don't say stuff the right way. I don't say how I mean it. It's kind of hard for me to communicate exactly what I mean sometimes. And I have to sit down and think about it before I say it, because I don't want it to come out wrong.
Hey, Mom, I want that.
Okay, hold on. So I want to apologize to anyone that was offended. I'm sorry if I offended you. And, but I'm not sorry for how I feel. Like, I think things should be fair. And I don't, like I said, I'm not against anybody. I'm not against anybody who does their own crafts. I'm not against anybody who sells their own crafts. I'm not against any artist, anyone at all. And all I do is try to share what I learned, because I do know how hard it is, and it's not easy for everyone. Everyone can't afford high-priced tutorials, no matter how bad they want to take them, no matter how bad they want to learn. And I'm not saying the people are evil for having high-priced tutorials. I'm saying that what I do is because I know how it feels. Especially if you're one of those people that want to learn so bad, but you don't get the chance to, or you don't have the opportunity to, which is why I do what I do, because I hated feeling like that growing up. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I wanted to tell you guys how I feel. Please don't fight in the comment sections or anything like that, because it's not necessary. You guys can have your opinions, and I'm allowed to have mine. I just wanted it to be fair. That's it. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.